Most big repairs start as small problems. Catch them early and save thousands. Welcome to the Garage Authority podcast. I'm your host, Jonathan Phillips, and today we have the return of the small but mighty. Because today we're talking about how to prevent costly garage door repairs. Now, some of these can be small, ended up being big, so we brought the smallest person that we know to talk about these big fixes that we could talk about. The one and only Andrea Davis. How you doing?
Doing well. Thank you for having me back.
Sister. We haven't got to hang out very much lately.
I know.
Because it's coming, though. He's about to be 3 months.
Yes.
He's about to be 3 months, and then we can start exposing him to people. I don't know. I never was that type of person, but once I became a dad, people are like, germs. Let's try and keep them off him as long as possible. And so, now it's just a waiting game because I do want to show him to everybody.
I cannot wait to meet him in person.
Yeah, for sure.
Not over video chat.
Not over video chat. And also, I think having another person in the house that has two little boys herself, not to mention, you have older girls, which
I do.
Her older girls are, for those of you at home, her girls are so sweet. However, they have chosen to use me as a lightning rod of roasting me. I literally go over to her house because Alex comes over there, makes incredible steaks, all right? I come up to the door, and they have this joke where they open the door and they go, nope, and then they slam it right back in my face and then send the video of my reaction on the Ring camera.
Yes.
And I don't understand. I think you're telling your children to do this.
Listen, I have not.
Sour Patch
told
Kids,
them to
dude.
pick on you.
They're
Yes,
so
they
sweet.
are Sour Patch, sweet and salty, just like Mama.
No, but the boys are my jam.
Oh, the
boys. Those are rowdy boys.
They are. You know, Axton settled down. He's going to be 8 in January, so he's kind of toning down. He's like got this gamer status going.
Oh.
You ask him what he wants to be when he grows up. He doesn't want to be a firefighter. He doesn't want to be a police officer. He wants to be a YouTuber and
Professional gamer.
Professional gamer. He's actually pretty good, ironically.
Is he?
Yeah, the girls are now going in and playing with him. So
is he
gets
whooping?
online. Yeah.
Yeah.
He does pretty darn good. So.
Dang.
I gotta let him do his thing, but Asher, on the other hand, that boy is going to be the life of me.
He is.
Just got hit in the head yesterday with a potato.
Yes.
Yeah, random potato.
Just throwing potatoes around the house.
He's a big boy, so he hangs out in the pantry.
Okay.
That's like his hangout.
Right.
So he loves it in there, and it's funny because
throwing potatoes at you.
Out of nowhere yesterday. Luckily I got it on video, so I threw that up on my my Facebook page. You can see it there on my reels. It's pretty intense.
I don't think it's a problem until he starts throwing like watermelons. Then we might have to check that.
We're talking like his big Tonka trucks.
Mm-hmm.
Like Alex will be chilling, making dinner. He'll go sit down for a second, and then in his face he'll get this Tonka truck. Like he throws everything at us.
He's kind of getting jacked.
Oh, he is.
Like he's a
bulky
thick,
little thick boy.
He's
got rolls.
Yes, and it is the most adorable thing. If I could attribute to what he looks like, for those of you at home, if you could imagine what a real life baby looks like from the 1990s Disney's Hercules, when Hercules was a baby, the curls, the eyes, built like that. He looks just like him. If they did a live action, your baby's here. That's where you need to do it.
Yeah, he's pretty precious. Who knows? We may see him on some future videos.
Yeah, he's good looking. But
we got to borrow that little car of yours, though.
That is the coolest
A1
car.
Yeah,
the coolest little A1 van car.
Can't wait for him to be riding around.
I know. I try to put him on it and like scoot him, but he's 2 months old, so he has no idea what's going on.
Let's not do that at 2 months old.
No. I'm holding him the whole time.
I know.
Yeah, me and Chauncey, I do see the look on her face because I'm very, he's fine type. So sometimes when I'm carrying him, it's definitely like supported on the arm,
Good
like
Lord.
while I'm doing something. I just watch her go.
You're out there fixing the garage.
Chauncey's like
Got
a 5
the
points
here.
of contact. Like nothing will get done right now. And then I'm just like, he's good. Yeah.
That's her baby.
I
It's
know.
her first baby.
I know. And he is so sweet for his mom. And then nighttime comes and he's a monster for me. But I love it. Like whenever I think about having a boy, I want him to be a rowdy boy. I want him to be
Oh, he will be. He's
crazy.
got plenty friends.
We fight.
Yeah?
We fight. Yeah, I hold him up like this, and then I get him, box him with his arms, and I go, psh, psh, psh. And then what he hates is he doesn't like the feeling of my mustache at all.
Nobody does.
Nobody does.
We should talk about that stash.
We don't have to talk about it, all right? This is my whole identity.
I think years ago we had this agreement that the stash was never coming back. And I'm pretty sure that there is some video footage of me doing what I had to do in order to get the stash gone.
Yeah, I had Dre get on her hands and knees on the floor and bow and pray that I was the better trainer.
Well, I beg to differ there. I think I had to beg and plead with you to remove the stash.
Yes, and then,
but I did have to say that you were the most amazing trainer.
But you focused on your career and you went. So
listen, that would. Yeah, this is true.
You know what I mean?
I did.
You went and did big girl things.
I did.
You did.
Yeah.
But whenever it comes to all the motherly advice that you give and everything that you do for me, that's why whenever I want to bring somebody on that I can listen to that puts stuff in a different perspective, that's why I choose Andrea Davis, like my big sister, aunt, work mom. You. So
love it.
That's why I wanted to bring you on, because also, for those of you that don't know, Dre manages over 130 technicians and installers and maintenance techs and managers. She's a manager of managers. And what Dre has done is she's had to deal with every single client interaction that you can think of. So she understands when there's a breakdown in communication. So that's why I wanted to bring you on, because you've seen whenever we have a estimate and or a solution.
Yep.
And people don't want to go with that when a week, 2 weeks, a month later, something comes up that could have been prevented.
Yeah, for sure.
Right. So that's why I wanted to bring you on and ask, what is the number one repair, since you've talked to thousands of clients at this point, the number one repair that could have been prevented?
A broken spring.
A broken spring. How would someone know if they were going to have a broken spring or not?
Their door's not going to be functioning properly. It's going to get tied up. It's going to,
Yeah, it goes up
move,
like 6 inches, goes back down, lights flashing. It's mostly the opening portion of it. Or if it just seems like it's struggling, really.
Yeah.
Is the biggest thing. Now, something that we do, all of our techs do, is we weigh every door that we go to.
Yep.
We like doors from the Lift Master Manual. It says that a door should be balanced.
Correct.
Right? They don't put numbers on it because there's this door, there's that door. You have doors that are, upwards of 1,000 pounds. So we have a high standard of 5 pounds or less.
5 pounds or less.
Right. Most of the industries are around similar to that. Some of them let it get up to 10 pounds. That's when you have that 1,000-pound, 800-pound door.
Right.
But how many times have we weighed that door and it's 40 pounds, 25 pounds even on the lighter ones, but that's losing tension, and they say, nope. Mm-hmm. And then all of a sudden we get a call 2 weeks later, my spring's broke.
Mm-hmm. And the sad part about it is that once that spring is broken, and these people, who do go through like, I'll wait, I'm not sure if I'm going to be here. And those are some of the legitimate reasons as to why somebody would decline getting that spring service done. Is that they might be moving, they're waiting on a job offer somewhere else, they might be selling the house, or it's a rental and their landlord's kind of like a slumlord. Mm-hmm. They've had some other issues inside the home, and, they just can't get their landlord to say yes today. And, the sad thing about it is that they'll still go and push that button because that door is going up or down, right? And they push it, and now they're adding all the strain to the operator itself. Mm. And then you've got a greatly expensive repair because you got to replace that operator now, whereas maybe you didn't have to.
Right. And just so we're all aware, operators are just a brain. It tells the door when to move up and down.
Yeah.
And obviously it has safety features that say, hey, it's not time to move. The springs are the muscle of the door. The springs are what make it to where you can lift it up with 2 fingers. We want it less than 5 pounds on the ground. Now, another cool thing whenever we weigh doors, because when you're saying, oh, I just got new springs, or the springs are only 2 years old, or this or that, whenever we have any springs that we're offering, you can look at our technicians, and you taught me to do this whenever I was out in the field, because we have systems in place to make sure that it's the best match springs that you can possibly get. Yeah. So it's not only do we weigh the door, but we also have an engineering app to where we putting you on game. It's more than just this door weighs this. You got to weigh the door. You need to know its height. You need to know what type of track is in it, and you need to know what type of drum is on it. All those different things affect what type of spring we can put on the door. This isn't something to where we can just go to Home Depot and pick a different spring. And it's to the point where we don't even match springs that were on the door before because we don't know what the last guy did. So we go through these systems every time, and then we can show it to you.
Right.
Every single time.
Every single time.
Every single time we show it to you for sure, this is the spring and here's why.
Yep. And that's why we have such a specific process here, is because oftentimes we do go to these homes where a client maybe had, another company out, somebody that they found in their local newspaper or Craigslist, and they come out and they claim to do these repairs on the door, and unfortunately they're not following those steps, of what the manufacturer recommends. And, we go above and beyond, and we find springs that were just replaced that are not the correct springs for that door. It's adding that additional wear and tear on the system. The door is 40, 60 pounds, on the ground, and at that point, we have to be the ones to educate the client and explain to them and walk them through that whole entire process that we do. And it's vital to our operation. It has to be done.
Yeah, and we have a lot of brother and sister companies out there that do that same standard. So I'm not saying all garage door companies, like anyone besides A1. Like, no, there are other companies that go to this same regard. But whatever company you have out there, just make sure they're doing that is all that we're asking.
Right.
Now, not only when it comes to the number one preventable, but there's a lot of see, don't touch, smell, hear. Specifically on hearing, what small noises or signs do homeowners overlook most of the time?
A lot of the times is like a grinding sound, metal on metal. That's
metal
huge.
on metal.
Metal on metal. You can have issues with the rollers. You can hear them, stopping in the track, but the track is still moving. The door, or the door, is still moving in the track, but it's, just scraping those rollers on. They're not rolling.
Right.
Bearings are jacked in them. So.
Yeah, and my favorite day in the training academy is when we finally got the laser level out, because you put new rollers on a door, this, that, and it's not just like rollers and bearings and those moving parts. It's actual alignment. And alignment can be great on the first day that it's installed, but when you've lived in that home for 10 years and houses settle, tracks
especially
off
here.
A little bit. Yes, especially out here in Phoenix, a lot of post-tension concrete, a lot of moving stuff, any place with basements. You're a homeowner, foundation, okay? I'm not going to try and educate you on that. They've dealt with it as homeowners. But it's whenever doors are out of a line and now the door's rubbing against the track or the bracket at the bottom, which holds the cable, which has all the tension. And once all those things get aligned or the torsion levels aligned, this is when that metal on metal means something is going to lose eventually.
Correct.
All right? Something is going to lose. And maybe it's because I've been doing it so long and we've seen so many garages, but I'm telling you that metal on metal at some point can even break the metal track that your door is riding in.
Unfortunately,
how many times have we seen a metal roller and all of a sudden that radius, that curved part, when it goes under there, you can see that it starts to crack because it's just grinded it down. Right. So when you hear that metal on metal, like Dre's saying, just take a look. Try and hear where it's coming from. Don't touch it. Please don't touch it. Call any company to find out where that origin's from. Now, whenever metal on metal happens, there's usually a lubricant or something. Like we like to use silicone-based. Mostly
I thought we
here.
use WD-40.
No, we do not use WD-40, Dre.
Do not use WD-40.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. WD-40 has its usage. It's probably a cure-all for any homeowner or handyman or handywoman in their garage. But it's a
don't use it on the garage.
Yeah,
door.
It attracts more dust and grime. It'll work. It's a Band-Aid cover of a symptom more than anything else. Yes, it does more damage than it does good. But whenever it comes to that lubrication, paying attention to those sounds, how often should doors be serviced?
A standard door should be serviced at minimum once a year.
Once a year.
Heavier duty doors, those wood overlay doors, high-end doors that you've spent a lot of money on, full views, you should get those serviced at least twice a year.
Yeah, more door, more maintenance. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Now, as far as maintenance, something that we do a little bit different here is there's garage door techs and there's guys that have been doing this a long time and gals, and they can get tune-ups done in 5 minutes. I mean, as far as just your general tune-up. But with us, we actually have entire positions and a 151 Now,
Yeah.
managing that, what all goes into that, in your opinion?
There's a ton. I mean, you're touching every single part of that door. You're getting eyes on every single nut and bolt and screw in that door, the rollers, the hinges, the cables, the bearings, springs. Obviously, you've got your tracks, that the door is going up and down in with the rollers. I mean, we're checking every aspect of that door, plus then the safety eyes, all the electrical, the motor, which is the operator there. Yeah. We're very, very
thorough.
extensive and thorough.
Like I said, the actual form itself with the inspection, some of you are going to hate out there and say it's unnecessary. It's not, because we found so much and prevented so much for our clients. It should take anywhere from an hour to 2 hours to do a full tune-up of a door with an actual service or maintenance technician.
Yep.
Now, whenever we do this maintenance, we kind of find, typical maintenance, I would say on average can be anywhere from $100 to a couple $100. Now, what is doing that preventative maintenance, couple $100 on the high end, going to save compared to the thousands if they don't do it?
Yeah, having somebody out and taking a very thorough look of the garage door and breaking down those small repairs, I mean, it's going to save you years worth of costs in the long run. If you're not ready to replace the door, maybe the door is newer, and you go through these steps with your garage door technician, the amount that you're going to save is going to be huge. I mean, we're talking cable replacement, a couple $100. If your cables are frayed, your door is going to get hung.
Yeah.
And then you've got panel replacements at that point.
Now
And
we're just buying a whole new door.
You're just buying a whole new door.
Whenever you weren't ready. The garage door doesn't
Right.
care about your timeline. It
Have
just
you ever
happens.
seen a garage door like sandwich in?
Yes. 2 times specific. I mean, there's been a lot where it's sandwiched in, but it usually, the worst ones that I see is where someone hits the button and then they get in their car and the door hung itself, but they were in their car and they didn't hear it, and then they reverse because they see light from the outside. So not only are we hung, but then we have, a 1,000-pound vehicle just destroy that thing. And that's pretty scary.
Well, I hate to say it, but many people in the industry, they don't strut panels these days.
We put
They
a
don't.
strut on every door.
We put a strut on every single door, and you start getting cracks and damage to panels that because the door wasn't maintained. We can do a small little Band-Aid repair that'll buy you some time, to replace the door. But I mean, I'm talking doors that may be a couple years old. If you don't have a strut on it, you are risking
big
time.
Big. I can't. So a strut, to what we're explaining, if you don't know what we're talking about, it's a triangular, sometimes it's square for like wind load areas, C-channel, but it's a brace that goes all the way across the width of your door. Now, you can imagine that if you have a pan door, just leverage. If you have a 16-foot wide door and it's just a 25 gauge steel, I mean, that weight, it just folds in half. And I can't tell you how many times I've gone to a house to where that door has fallen out of track that didn't have a strut.
Well, we get those microbursts here.
Yeah, that huge
in the desert.
wind microbursts.
And I can tell you right now, we're replacing a ton of doors throughout Tempe here.
Yeah.
Just with the storm that passed through a couple weeks ago. It's terrible. And what could have prevented it would have been having that preventative maintenance done, getting a full inspection done, and strutting those panels.
All the way through.
All the way through. It would have saved you.
Now, are there any simple homeowner checks that you recommend that they do monthly?
Yeah, absolutely. Checking those safety eyes, making sure that they are free and clear of all debris, making sure that they're working. So take a broom, use your foot, operate the door to close it, and then put your foot there and make sure that it comes back open. We've got the balance test, making sure that the door is balancing on each panel once you get to the bend in the garage door there. You got the force setting test that you can do.
That's a big one.
With the 2x6, putting that under the door and then closing the door, it should bounce it back open. If it is not, you need to get a professional to check that door out.
Okay, so we've gone over a lot today. If I have all my notes right, like the number one repair that could be prevented, we talked about springs, we talked about sounds of metal on metal. We talked about maintenance being 1 year. If you got a super big door, 2 years. I mean, we talked about lubrication, not using WD-40. We talked about how a little bit of maintenance, a couple $100 most here can prevent, a whole new door unless you want a new door. And we also talked about, people can go out, they can check their safety eyes, they can check their forces, they can do a manual release with the door on the ground first. What else do you think homeowners should know about when it comes to safety or things and checks that they can do or what to consider?
Yeah, I mean, if the door is 8 to 10 years old and it's all original, you want to make sure that that you're prepared to have some of those replacements done. I mean, when we talk about parts, you get the tires on your car changed every couple years, right? Every couple thousand miles or 40,000 miles, whatnot, is I think the base. Same thing, for washer and dryer inside the home or a dishwasher. Eventually, you are going to have to replace it, but you can get longevity out of it with maintaining it. And so, we talk about the life cycles of, say, our springs. A motor you're looking at maybe getting 10 years out of a motor, an operator these days. And springs kind of go the same way. They have a life cycle. And, when a door goes up and down, that's considered one cycle. And so you have different variations of cycles of springs. You've got a 2-year, a 5-year, and then we have our lifetime, springs here. So it's important to know if your door hasn't been serviced or everything is original on there to know what your options are.
Right. And as far as to the clients, like entry level around 10,000. And I know that there's going to be a lot of people, because I see it in the comments and stuff, I've had a door for this long, it's original, it's this, it's that. It's different for every person. You really got to ask yourself, how often do you use the door? And not just you. If you have a spouse, if you have kids. I mean, there's some people that they've had that door forever and they haven't had to do a lot of maintenance to it. Well, it's a golf cart door and they only live here 6 months out of the year and they use it maybe once a week. Yeah, it's going to last a long time.
Correct.
Families that use it every day, might be time to look at parts that make it last a lifetime. Fair enough?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right.
Yeah, I mean, you're talking the baseline is 10,000 cycles, right? And so I just wanted to kind of clarify on that. You said 10,000. I don't want people to think $10,000.
No.
Now, if we're talking a nice new door system, then we're talking, could be range from, 4,000 to 40,000.
Right.
Even, larger than that if you wanted to go with really high-end doors. But, the life cycle of springs is, you've got to think about it. How often are you using that door? We use our door frequently. We're opening and closing, at least 6 times a day. It's a lot of use out of the system. So we went with the lifetime springs. Even if I had not been employed here, if somebody was to give me those options and break it down for me, which they should be. Anybody that comes to your home to do any home service should be providing options. If they are not, then call somebody else because you are not getting the service that you deserve. You have the right to choose.
Yes.
You really do. And so I love when clients call us out because another company has come out and they've quoted some small minor repairs. And we get out there and we do this full inspection and everything is original on the garage door. And so we break it down for them and we give them the options. And they had no idea that the parts that we're now suggesting to them that they replace. Because when we get into a spring line, which is where the spring sits up on the torsion tube, but when you get in there, you've got bearings, you've got the drums, you have the cables, you have everything that's all associated with that. When you're changing out your springs, you're probably going to be looking at those other moving parts, right? And a lot of other companies are not. They're not suggesting that and breaking it down. They're just not educating the client. And so, we do have some great sister companies out there, companies that are that come around here. They do tours and stuff because they want to better their best. And it's great to start seeing some of these guys that are following the same process.
Yeah, I'd say a lot of the garage door industry is really starting to get on board with doing these full, hey, bare minimum, what you called me out for today, what I see happening this year, what I see happening in 5 years, and if you don't ever want to worry about it again, have it your way.
Here's your options.
It's very nice.
Yeah, it is. It can definitely save you thousands of dollars in the long run.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. Well, Dre, it's been an absolute pleasure having you on. Thank you for not being as mean to me as you usually are.
I can't be.
No, you can't be. I
think there's cameras around here.
We're going to keep this podcast running for another 24 hours until I feel safe. So get comfortable, chat. No, I'm kidding. Thanks for having on, Bo.